Thank you for joining the first Helix Markets Community AMA. We have Gorazd and Jon both joining under Scratchy. Guys, can you say hi, please?
Hey everyone, how's
Good
it going?
afternoon.
Good
Hello,
stuff.
everybody.
Yeah, so here's how things are going to go today. I'm going to ask the guys some questions about what kind of progress has been made so far in calendar year 2023, and I know there's been a lot there. So, and I know they're quite proud of how much or how far we've come. So that's great. We'll talk about the alpha test, generally how it went, top learnings, and then we'll get into questions from people like Zaratrusta, Shuffles, and some others that were submitted ahead of time. And I will let you know now if you did not get a chance to submit a question ahead of time, or something comes to mind when you're listening to Gorazd and Jon talk about everything, you have two options. You can write in the text chat for the Let's Talk channel, ideally there. But if you do write it somewhere else, just tag me so that I see the question. So that's Derek Silva. Or if you are comfortable doing it over voice, I'll open things up later and you'll have an opportunity to ask your question later on. So we will get to that, and we will give you guys an opportunity to ask questions live. Like I said, if you think of something comes up. So in the meantime, let's get started. Gorazd, Jon, let's talk a little bit about how much progress you guys have made on Helix Markets since January 1st. Where were you at January 1st, and compared to being somewhere between alpha and beta testing phase as of today?
Sure. So let me just think about that so I can get a good snapshot for you. Like Jan 1st was really when we built a lot of the base layer at that time. So that being kind of having fully on-chain funding. In that snapshot, we actually just also started rebuilding our matching engine from scratch. So all of the components that everyone is using during the alpha test were built by us. So we really are builders. So we never forked any code or anything similar. We really started from zero about a year ago, and kind of matching engine was being built for then from December to pretty much April, and in the meantime we also finished building up the funding layer. So the funding layer is, like, I think, one of the things that we're really proud of, where we can kind of say we've never seen anybody build it in a way that we've built it, so that we can be natively multi-chain and use chain key crypto and threshold ECDSA to communicate with all the other chains. And then obviously on the front end, we continue polishing it up, trying to make it as user-friendly as possible, so that like experienced traders, but also crypto newbies can have a really cool experience on using Helix, get up to speed fast, and then just start trading as soon as possible.
Awesome. That's great. And hopefully if people didn't realize, it is important to note how much of this is being built from scratch by the Helix team. Not, you're not forking Curve's smart contract or Uniswap or anything like that. Especially since you're building this on Dfinity Internet Computer protocol, of course, but also because you're trying to build something novel and new. That's terrific. And the alpha test, I think a lot of people were impressed with how polished it was, as you mentioned. But like overall, how did the team feel about how the alpha test went, both on the front end and the back end?
I mean, yeah, we were really happy with the response, and the testers did an awesome job for us, like really helping us push the platform even further. So really finding great bugs in brackets, but bugs that really help us kind of build next iterations of Helix, which will be more stable, will be vastly improved. Also, we got some great feedback on the front end issues and how we can display information. So, I think from our side, we would still kind of like to keep working with the alpha testers in the future as well. Maybe just run by some design updates and prototypes that we have of new designs based on features that they recommended or features that they asked for, to see if this is going in the right direction. So it's kind of a process that we can continue building together, and then have a trading platform that everybody will like and enjoy. But also one thing that we know, so we are building it in parallel. We're building right now a prototype for a mobile version. So we saw that's kind of a hard requirement for everyone, that they would like to have a mobile version. So we're trying to do like an even more simplistic version of Helix, but that runs on mobile.
Good. And oh shoot, I lost my train of thought. So what were the top 2 or 3 things you guys learned from the alpha test? Mobile, I think, was a big one. What else?
I guess the dashboard. Having the order book, the graphs, and we're going to try and the first mock-up of that, it was to add market trades as well, all within the execution window, right? So that was another sort of the big UI difference. We initially, the thought was to sort of keep things clean, but yeah, no, it sort of made sense, obviously from my training. So I think, obviously, thanks for all the alpha testers out there, and it's been great feedback. But yeah, no, every sort of comment that's put on the chat, we do go through it, and we do actually log all the Google questions that eventually will get processed.
I think one thing we'll add is also slippage to market orders, so that kind of if the book is thin, that the users don't kind of just eat up into the book, but get stopped out at some price levels. And then also, like a really good comment came. I forgot one, but there's one biggie still that we will do in one of the next releases as well, besides slippage.
Okay, that makes sense. Cool. All right, let's get to the community questions that came in ahead of time. Zaratrusta, Zaratrusta, who's here today. Thanks for joining. Submitted a few. Had some really nice things to say about the platform, how impressive it is. That they feel really strongly that this is going to be a great multi-chain DeFi trading experience. But they wanted to know more about the team background, how big the team is, and any sources of funding that you can talk about, I guess, publicly.
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to share. So right now, the team is 16 strong. So we're based, like most of us are based in Zurich, Switzerland. But we have a global team with people, from Norway. We have our front-end team is based in Romania. We have people from Bangladesh, is where our designer comes from London. Greece. I think we're like global, but kind of with headquarters here in Zurich, Switzerland. And in terms of background, so we're all kind of have more trading crypto backgrounds, banking. So we have people from, I myself, I used to work for Signum Bank and Deloitte. John was ex-UBS. Our CTO is ex-Kraken, Google. We have other people on the team that worked for exchanges, that worked on other platforms, or in the financial industry. So we're all like very passionate traders, And that's why it was also one of the reasons why when we were building Helix, we wanted to build like something that we would love to use as well ourselves, just because, you know, we were looking at what's out there. And, you know, we were kind of always looking at exchanges where, you know, situations like FTX happen, and we wanted to avoid that. And we just wanted to have control over the funds, you know, keep custody with ourselves, you know, be in control of the assets. So that was really important to us, and it was also kind of like a shared vision that everybody has on how crypto should work and how crypto should interact, and giving people control over their assets. The second part of the question was in terms of,
before that, I guess one more point to add, I guess. The project's actually, I've known Gorazd for quite a while. You know, we both live in Zurich. You know, the fruition of the project came actually, it's been about a year to this date. So, you know, think about it, you know, it's actually before Luna, Terra, and all that stuff, just right about it, right? So, you know, none of our minds, you know, we were predicting what sort of happened, you know, towards the tail end of last year and stuff like that. But it was sort of our vision that, you know, DeFi trading, you know, what was currently out there wasn't what we thought it should be, and we wanted to sort of reimagine it, really. So yeah, you know, the first really, you know, 3 or 6 months, you know, the team sat down with Maharm, the CTO, and we really designed the system. And we spent a lot of time doing design before we start doing a lot of code, even though, you know, we were all excited to get, you know, but yeah, so the vision started.
And in terms of the funding, so basically just like general picture is we are funded, so we are funded past go live, so we will ship product. Then on the investor side, so it was pretty much initially the founders who put up cash, and then we had a really cool angel investor. We got some grants also from the Dfinity Foundation that really helped out a lot. And yeah, funny story, actually, we did our raise pretty much, we started I think November 27th, so that was 3 days after the FTX collapsed. And yeah, nobody really wanted to hear about another exchange at that moment, but it was a hard environment because it was like the most kind of crypto winter of the last year. But nonetheless, we found 2 really good private investors, I would say amazing investors, who really believe firstly in the potential of Dfinity, but also in the team and the project. So yeah, on that side, like we are super fortunate that we have really good backers who support the vision, but who also see the larger potential of the internet computer.
Terrific. Great. I think that covers a lot of ground. Second question was about the go-to-market strategy. What is the go-to-market strategy that the team envisions to deploy and bring awareness to the Helix Markets platform once it's fully operational?
Yeah, sure. We can share a bit color on that. I mean, if you look at it from a wider angle, like we are competing with other players that have unlimited budgets to spend on marketing. So we don't, like, for us, really, anything that we're doing is pretty much grassroots. So that's how we'll also approach it. So we want to grow through project communities. Our go-to-market is pretty much because we are natively on-chain. We have also right now a couple of partnerships with some of the other chains that we want to integrate, which we'll be announcing down the line. Then we speak with the projects in other communities for listings as well, and we basically grow natively through everyone's community, raise awareness about Helix, and then, you know, that's one side of the equation. And also the other side is we do talk to market makers. We have some commitments for market makers that will market make, so that would bring liquidity to the platform. But pretty much our roadmap is very organic. We want to participate in conferences, spread awareness about Helix, and get the word out, kind of very grassrootish.
Yeah, good stuff. And yeah, I think there's a lot of different ways to approach that, and I think you guys have a good head on your shoulders in terms of getting this out to people who are actually going to use it, and therefore, make it sustainable in the long run. Okay, so Zero Trusta's last question. They wanted to see something a little bit beyond, or no, within Milestone, within the roadmap. Can you expand on the types of derivatives that will be available through Helix Markets as seen in Milestone 4 of your roadmap, please?
So just my background had been in I was a derivatives trader in investment banking, TradFi. So I am very interested in developing the derivatives market in Helix Markets. So obviously the perpetual swaps is definitely one of the first products that we will go after. I guess difference wise, a lot of these sort of altcoins. The ones that are not as big, we would definitely look at doing stuff like that. There's a possibility, because we are native chain, of looking at doing sort of delivery, like physical delivery, as opposed to cash settled or whatever, the perpetual ones. So we're given the financial background of the team and stuff like that, we are sort of looking at innovative products. So the next one would be options, obviously, as well. Again, we would look at more of the altcoin. Again, being that we can do physical delivery of the tokens itself natively. After that, we want to start looking into sort of structured products. Where options are a bit on the sort of complicated side. If we can sort of package options in a more simpler meaningful type of products, where we do baskets of options and stuff like that, we want to look at products like that. If you look at some of the traditional TradFi private clients, the fact that we're based in Switzerland and there's lots of these floating around, they can be adapted to crypto tokens and stuff like that. So yeah, these are all in the sort of back of the head that we want to approach. There's a few other products that once we can launch and get it successfully, that we would definitely look into.
Awesome. Thanks for expanding on that. Shuffles. Where will the exchange get liquidity from? I think Rensky had similar platform. Where's the liquidity coming from for Helix Markets?
Yeah, so initially we are already in discussions with market makers. The usual names, I guess. If the alpha testers have had a chance, there is a page it's called API. If you click on that, you'll realize we support a full-blown WebSocket API. So anyone that has a trading bot, where most of these sort of professional market makers have it, you'll realize how similar this is with a lot of centralized exchanges like a Binance or so. That was by design. So anyone that has any algorithmic strategies can easily hook in with Helix, and that's one of the features that we deliver. So but having discussions with market makers, it seems quite they're quite excited to get on board with this. Getting into DeFi, high frequency. The matching engine is built to handle quite a lot of load and low latency. The other thing that we're working on is sort of releasing an open source SDK of the API in various programming language. So anyone can sort of hook it up or develop it. We'll have open source examples of this stuff. But yeah, no, we really want to encourage sort of I guess we get down to the retail investors that would want to run bots and stuff like that. We'll hook into sort of the usual public libraries and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, the trading engine that we have is a full order book. We want to sort of look at, creating some sort of a liquidity pool type of algorithm or pool that's similar to like an AM. So the team was thinking about stuff like that.
Great, good stuff. Block River, are you working on partnerships that allow direct deposit fiat, for fiat, the purchase of stable coins, etc., to the platform or through the platform, I guess?
Yes, we're currently working on that. We see this as a big, kind of potential for onboarding, a wider audience than we would have if we would just be crypto to crypto. So yes, we're looking into that. And then yeah, it is everything, it takes time. So we hope we have it for ready for go live as well, that we'll be able to offer this.
Good stuff. And the last question that came in ahead of time was from Bets Taji. How long will the public test be running? I think we mentioned it briefly in the Discord that we're leaving the alpha open, but not making any updates to it. Any new updates will go into the beta. But is there anything else you guys want to add there about?
Well, I mean, so when we're doing demos and stuff, we're using alpha ourselves as well. So alpha will just be open. So anybody that's an alpha tester, there's no kind of time limit to which you can use it. But what I can say is we are already working on an open beta, so that one will be released also quite soon. So it will be kind of the next version on our roadmap to go live. But yeah, that will include like there will be the fully featured platform, and then we'll go into code audits. So for now, alpha will remain live and then operational, but then everybody can also try out the beta at a later point.
Yeah, good. While we were talking, Mehmet Dogan posted a question, which I think is a good one. Helix Markets in the future will provide. Okay, I'm gonna try to put this in native English to make it easier. So, will Helix Markets provide both MetaMask and ICP based wallets for login, or will it be unified? If so, how? Will ICP add MetaMask support?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So that's also one of the reasons why, we were looking at making user flows as seamless as possible. So ideally, we would just integrate third-party wallets with which users can then identify to the platform. But the challenge that we face is obviously, as Mehmet Dogan points out, that if we kind of log in with MetaMask, then you're missing your IC addresses or your Bitcoin addresses, right? So that's the reason why we decided to just build our own kind of wallet for starters, and then we will start working on integrations of third-party wallets, which can be the primary wallet. But we also need assets on other chains. So we will nonetheless be creating this, but we'll try to create a flow that is as seamless as possible to do this. But there will be much more wallet integration. So I don't think, based on the nature of how wallet providers think right now, it's not going to be possible to solve it with one wallet. That's at least not for the foreseeable future, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I've been around long enough to know that wallets seems to be a battleground right now. Everybody wants every wallet maker wants everybody to be using their wallet, primarily because it can be a source of revenue if you embed swaps and things like that right in there, like MetaMask has been doing. And so I get that, but yeah, that means that everybody has their favorite wallet, and not every chain is supported by every wallet, and all the rest. So
but we will be
bit of a
looking into other methods of authentication as well. So not just II, but maybe we integrate Google Auth, so you can just log in with your Google account, or other authentication methods that make kind of the onboarding to Helix as simple and as easy as possible.
Yeah. Terrific. Good. Okay. I'm gonna unmute you. Is there? I'm gonna put it out there. Is there anybody else who has a question they want to ask, or either live on audio, or if they want a chance to type one out? Now is the time. Otherwise, I'm not going to share timelines because I don't want to blow anything up, but or jinx anything. But I know that the team has a really aggressive timeline for moving through the next few phases of testing. So there will definitely be opportunities coming up for people who did not get into the alpha test to participate in the beta test, or a later test after that, and especially while auditing is happening, and yeah, and go live as soon as everything's ready. T's are crossed, I's are dotted, audits are done, that sort of thing. So I'm really excited for the next few months. All right, I'm not seeing anything, so I think we can call it there. Everybody, thank you so much for joining our first ever community AMA. We have another one scheduled, well, tentatively scheduled for July, and probably another one in August. So we're going to try and keep doing these on the regular, and yeah, and start using new platforms as well to continue to grow the community, to make sure that people who have been here early and have been helping us out get rewarded somehow. And yeah, so if you have other friends in DeFi who want to access this sort of platform, please invite them in. There's going to be lots of things to be doing throughout July, August, September. Later in the year, of course, as Helix Markets eventually launches on mainnet, and starts to be used in production. And now I see a couple people typing. So I'll give you folks a minute. Here we go. Caspian just joined. That's okay. Wanted to share again how impressed you've been. That's terrific to hear. Thank you. The only question you had, what kind of support are you receiving from Dfinity? Gorazd, do you want to mention the grants again for Caspian's benefit?
Yeah, I mean, like we received, financially, like 2 grants. That was super helpful. Otherwise, like, we get support like any other team. We go to the forum, ask questions, and yeah, it's been a learning experience for us, just also in building, in terms of, because nobody's done this on the internet computer before in a way that we've done it. So yeah, there's been lots of back and forth with the guys from Dfinity, just asking different questions and then, figuring stuff out. I think that's like the 2 things I'd say.
Cool. There was also a press release today that they helped put together because they've been really impressed with what the Helix Markets team has been doing. Of course, the award that they won at the Crypto Valley conference a couple weeks ago, which was terrific as well. And yeah, thanks, Zaratrusta. Glad you enjoyed it. And yeah, and if you have questions, suggestions, feedback for the way the community is being run, I know it's a little bit slow in these early days, but definitely a lot more coming as the app opens up to more people. Please feel free to share them. We definitely want you guys to feel welcome. We want you guys to come back to the community often, and so we're definitely open to your feedback. And in the meantime, thanks everybody for joining. We hope you enjoyed it and learned something today. And yeah, we'll see you next time and on Discord. Thanks a lot, Gorazd and Jon, for your time as well.
All right, thanks everybody.
Thanks everyone. Bye.